Hey guys, I wanted to go through the graphics real quick and just give you an overview of the logo, especially if you have any feedback or changes that you'd like to do. So here's the final product. Of course, you can add your own music background to it, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of what's involved here. So that's the entire intro right there, and you could actually split that up into separate sections. If you need additional file formats or size formats, please let me know. This is the main composition where everything comes together, but I wanted to break it down into its individual parts. There's three major sections, although there's more compositions involved in each one. Um, the first section here is the fade in. The fade in is, without the lightning effects or any of that stuff, broken down into three parts. We have the primary um, uh, graphics, which I'll get back to in a second, the 3D graphic model. Um, and then I went through and created a molten lava image, um, which you can see right here. So it's a molten effect of the Reverence logo, so that we could blend it in with the primary composition and have this sort of molten effect that's cooling down and becoming the logo itself. I also added textures and bump maps for the red background as well as the metallic background to give it a worn or patinaed metal effect. And then we have some sort of white hot scarring coming in here before it turns to a molten state. And that all will be hidden under or appearing underneath of the lightning as it comes along. Okay. And then you can see each of these layers. There's no real effect for doing this, so we had to create masks. The white area is what shows through for each of these sections, that allows us to actually be able to view those particular graphics images as it goes through. And then this mask down here for the primary is a full sweep, so you can see that's the sweep of the background logo as it comes on, um, and it appears as it goes across. So that's how that's done. All right, the next section is the 3D logo itself. I'm just going to go to a two-dimensional image here. The 3D logo is made up of two different layers: the back end logo and the text itself. So if we click on this, you can actually see the logo effect itself. And I'm going to go in here to the effects area. And this allows us to see the actual rendering of the logo. And these are the different metallic surfaces that you can put on it. This is a custom metallic surface there, and then a custom metallic surface there, and I created bump maps out of those metal surfaces to give it sort of a fluid um, and and bumpy metal surface, which you see when the light interacts with it. It's not truly three-dimensional, the individual bumps, but it is interacts with the light in such a way that it looks like it is. All right, I won't go into more detail there. These are all lighting effects, so there's three-dimensional interactive lighting that's going on here, and those effects are used to um, light up the logo in key positions as it rotates in 3D space. And so this composition is the rotation of 3D, and I have some buffering so that it doesn't lock in and make a really rigid locked side effect. As you can see, I've included the R now, and we have lighting down here to bring it on as we go through the transition. We no longer have the weird extra rotation. It now starts with the rotations, with it coming back into frame, as if it was coming off from the distance back into frame. And then the last part is the lighting effect, which you can see is what's let's call it the outside logo. And this is actually a mask, and we're generating those flames using a kind of a cool flame generation effect. And you can see the flames grow around the mask, and then catch on fire to give it that sort of smooth transition and realistic fire, lighting on fire effect. Alright, that's it for the logo, the primary logo itself. This composition here is where all of these effects come together, the final comp. And so in here, let's see if we can let it resolve for a second. Oops, probably should turn those effects off. We do not need that. Okay. In here, there's a bunch of things going on here. So you can see the transition in the background is occurring. And it looks like I messed up one more time here. Transition form. Logo. Let me pause this for 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I had turned off the logo layer in the background. Alright, so as we're going along here, you can see a bunch of different things occurring. The lightning is on these tracking rods, and it's moving across the logo as it's appearing. We have a series, I'm going to turn off the logo and the rendering in the background. So we have some particulate effects going on, trying to make it look like a welding effect or an explosion around the metal. We also have some lens flare effects that are tracking each of the dots, so you can see where the lightning is striking. And that serves a couple of purposes. One, as the lens flare tracks, you can see it's pointing in this direction here, and then it comes out and it's pointing in this direction here, so it's a cool effect. And it also helps to blend the lightning to make it look like it's actually the whole surface is being welded simultaneously when you put the logo back in. And that's to give it that effect that you were worried about earlier, which is, you know, maybe we need more lightning bolts or something simultaneously, or electrical bolts. So you can see if we take off the lens flare effects, it looks like it's very specific to a particular area, although it comes across, you know, almost a little bit more crisp. The lens flare effects just make it look like it's globally occurring across the logo. And then the last thing is we have this sort of electrical residue effect that's going on here, and that again is another layer mask that goes around the text, and there's a mask associated with that. It eventually lights up completely and lightning, and then sort of fades away, and it's corresponding to the sound effects. So I understand that you're going to be putting music and stuff in there. I did have a minimal amount of sound effects. If you want to wash those sound effects out, you're more than welcome to, of course. You can just actually take the video itself or the logo itself and put it in silent mode in your video editor, and then put whatever sound effects you want on top of it. So feel free to do that. If you need any revisions, any different sizes, let me know. But that's the logo in a whole, and as you can see, it's now taking about 10 to 15 minutes to render the entire thing from cradle to grave. So it does take a little bit of time now to make additions and edits on the entire composition. Alright, that's it in a nutshell. Thanks.